So really, having a deaf son impacted him, and he became really motivated. Him and his wife decided to actually learn some ASL, and then he got this idea and started writing this film over here, and then asked me, and it actually won a few things, and I thought, might as well go ahead and write.
Oh, so was he intentionally, he wrote the deaf layer in from the beginning?
That's right. It's purely for a deaf cast, deaf layer from the beginning, deaf view. And that's how it all started, and now it's what happened. And also, I went to a few festivals, and then it was also at Sundance.
Slam dance.
Slam Dance, excuse me. And then it's been at several festivals, and it's still being played and being showed.
So, and do you have any idea of where the idea of that twisted story came from? I mean, it's so original. I, like everyone else, thought this couple was visiting some sort of alternative psychologist, and then they were drinking a serum, and
Right. It was a great idea. They had a vision, and originally he won for a playwright competition. Then he won that, and then that led into a film, actually.
wow, fascinating. Okay, hi, Carlos. So, you are the producer for this film.
Yes, I am.
And I know that the person who wrote and directed it wasn't available, but you are speaking for her. So, how do you have any idea of where the idea for this film came from?
I don't know if I can talk about the idea, but I can talk about the process. And this
Sure.
story just came. Meanwhile, Antonina was like trying or working in the acceptance of her sexuality. So there is like one of the things that she tried to bring to the film, and the other thing was like the things that she have to go through after she went back to Colombia, because she was studying here in the US and she went back to Colombia, so she has to face like this reality in a culture that is still like judging people for the way they decide to live or to think or to feel. And I think there is a third topic or third idea that is in the script and in our film, and it's the fact that she has been working like including people with disabilities in their films. If you have a look of her filmography, you're going to find like blind characters, people with mental disabilities. So I think that she just like kind of found a way to explore a cultural topic with a sexuality topic and the music that was around in the Caribbean and of Colombia, and that's how salsa came out.
Wow. It was a beautiful film. I mean, they were both very beautiful, but yours was also very hot, I must say. Woo!
That was something
Right?
that we wanted, because the film itself was made for a deaf public. You know, it's like in the post production process, that was something that Antonina were really hard in. Is the fact that we wanted a film that everyone. But specifically the deaf people could not just obviously know hear, but feel. You know. So that's what the music and everything is all about, because we wanted like the whole stage to shake, and the people that can hear it can feel it somehow.
Well, absolutely. I felt it. Thank you, Carlos. All right, Eddie, back to you briefly. I don't often see films where everyone on the screen is deaf.
That's right.
Usually there's a mixed cast. There's maybe one or some deaf among some hearing, but this was a fully deaf cast.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And I know you have made other movies as well.
Correct.
Is this your first time with an all-deaf cast?
Yeah, it is.
How is that experience different from other films?
For me, okay. It feels like we're all connected because we all share that same language, and there's an immediate understanding between us. In other areas where it's more mainstream, there's a little bit more work to kind of accommodate and adapt to everybody. But here, it was so easy and so smooth because all of us are in the same culture and we were all really involved. So I was really grateful. I'm really grateful for that, and it's really cool to see the difference between how you feed lines and we're more connected emotionally. But when it's a mix of hearing and deaf, we have it just requires a little bit more work, but it's a full deaf cast. It's so easy to just work together. We know each other's facial expressions and emotions. We can read each other very well. So it was a really beautiful process.
It was so clear to me that the three of you were deaf. I could see the natural fluidity of language and connection. It was really beautiful to see. As a deaf filmmaker, actor, writer, what have you, I am also interested to learn what the approach was for translating the film. Did the three of you work separately on translating, or did you work together? Did you have a consultant, someone who worked with you on lines?
So actually, it did take 2 weeks with the director of ASL, and I was translating it before I met the two other actors because I was living in another state at the time. So I studied it for 2 weeks with the coach. I paid them. We worked together for 2 weeks, and then when all three of us finally got together, it was a little bit tough to figure out each other's pace and timing. But the director was, really nice, full of heart, gave us plenty of hours to prepare and everything.
1 hour?
Yeah, a good hour. Yeah, so we did that and got better and better. And also I did have, a brief Zoom meeting, but it wasn't really enough until we met in person, and then we took some more time.
It's never enough.
Right, that's right.
You could film for 2 months and it would still never be enough.
Yeah, that's right. I totally agree with you. Honestly, that film, we did the whole film in one day.
Day?
One whole day.
Wow.
It was about 4 or 5 hours or something, just like that. The whole
filming
thing.
like wild.
Yeah. And it was very specific, though. Everything was timed. We have to do this, the camera angles, and it was all very emotional. And everything really had to work out smoothly, and it worked out nicely.
I tip my hat to you. That's an endeavor. If you don't know, often deaf actors will do their own translations, and then sometimes you come into the room and the translation you've come up with is so mismatched from the world of the piece.
That's
it's
true.
really such an endeavor.
I have to admit, it wasn't easy. It took a lot of time for us to get through it, and we just barely made it through.
Well, fortunately, the three of you are very talented actors.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that. We had a good connection.
All right, Carlos. Now, working with, I don't know her name, the deaf character.
Antonina Kerguelen, yeah.
Oh, that's Antonina. Oh, excellent. What was it like working with her as a deaf actor?
No. She is an Antonina. I thought you were talking about the director. No, she is Isabel Trop. She's actually here from the U.S.
The deaf actress.
And she is deaf, yeah. So you were asking about the experience. That was very challenging because we start working with a deaf association in Bogota who was helping us with the whole process in the development stage of the project. So they were basically helping Antonina to build this whole universe for a deaf character and build the character itself. And one of the things that they told us at that time was that they didn't have too much representation or real representation in the screens. So we were thinking to film with that actress that we were planning to train in sign language, but after that we just decided to have deaf actress. So we started looking for her like everywhere. It took us like a couple of months, and just 2 weeks before we start shooting, we found her here in the U.S. In Atlanta. But she wasn't an actress at the time. Yet she is still being not an actress. She just decided like to go to Colombia and live the adventure with us. And we just found in her like the look that Antonina wanted at the moment, and you know that this phase of the a free beam that actually Isa is. So that was very challenging in terms of production because we have to fly her to Colombia and also to adapt the whole production process for a deaf person in set. So we had to bring an a translator. The whole team tried to, I don't know how, but some of them got it like to learn some sign languages. Um,
If you don't mind my interrupting, I want to clarify. You said you provided interpreters.
yeah, we
So if the actor was from Atlanta, I'm assuming she signs ASL, which I did see some ASL. Does that mean you also brought an interpreter from America?
no, that was challenging too because our interpreter didn't know American Sign Language, so they were like talking in different sign languages, and I don't know how they managed to understand themselves. Yeah,
That's another movie right there.
yeah, for sure. That's part two.
That's a
a part two.
challenge.
But yeah, that was like challenging for everyone in the set. For Antonina, of course, because we have just like 1 week to do rehearsals and everything with her. Um,
A little better than one day, at least.
yeah, we
That's right.
shoot we shoot for 7 days, and I think that wasn't enough. We probably need more time than that. But yeah, the thing is like 1 week to do rehearsals and to work with a no actor person is too little time. You know, it's like we think that we deserve more time with her, but we just find it like 2 weeks before, so we just have like 1 week to work with her. But I think that it came pretty well, you know, like you can see it.
I mean, yes, let's all applaud for that.
I tip my
I
hat
will
to.
say, I often see films, TV shows, etc., with deaf characters, and as soon as they pick up their hands, I can clock that they are not deaf. I see how they move their hands. Even though she does not sign much, she signs beautifully in the film, and I knew that she was deaf immediately. From one sign, I knew that she knows ASL. So for me, that authenticity, the fact that you endeavored to bring in a deaf actor, it was really a big deal. And for anyone with deaf eyes, I have some people in the audience who can concur with me. And I am really sorry to say that time has gotten away with me. I have time for perhaps 1 or 2 audience questions if anyone wants to raise a hand. Oh, okay.
We have a microphone coming. Would you like to have
With the mask here?
should the interpreter, would you like a microphone or would you like me to give it to the interpreter?
Who we?
Sorry.
What inspired this?
They're trying to figure out who's first.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
sir. We're going to take a question from the man in the front row in a black jacket. I'm going to give, I think, the interpreter the microphone.
She's going to copy sign for deaf audience first, and then she will voice.
Okay, so first of all, it was incredible to see this film that was shot in Colombia. I myself was born and raised in Colombia, so to see the culture and to see the way that everything was portrayed with the music and the culture and the scenery, it gave me chills, and it was really beautiful to see. And especially to include LGBTQ storylines and to see a deaf character, it really touched me in a big way on a personal level. And so I'm wondering why you chose why you chose the location.
Barranquilla.
Thank you. Why that was the location that you chose for the filming.
That's actually a very important question because that's the city where Antonina is from. So that is like attached to her. So I remember like telling her like shooting in other places that were going to be a lot cheaper for us to shoot and everything. But she said that this city is basically one of the reasons why she wanted to do this movie. So that's why we decided to do it there. It's actually not in Barranquilla. It's close to Barranquilla in a town called Puerto Colombia. But yeah, it's basically the Caribbean coast of Colombia, so it's the whole region in the movie.
Oh, we have time for one
We
more
have time
question.
for one more? Okay, great.
I'm going to bring the microphone to you, and I'll pass it.
What inspired you to create this short?
Which one? Who are you asking?
Salsa.
Well, I can tell about the things that I saw in the script that make me like fall in love with the story. And I just found in this script like a beautiful, as you say, a beautiful portrait of my country. It's like I'm very proud Colombian, so as soon as I have a read of the script, I just saw a beautiful representation of my country in there. So I decide like to, like to start producing the script. And there is another thing that is I believe in stories with social impact. And I have, at that moment, I had just worked with documentary movies in order to have like something with this social impact. And I just saw in this fiction and narrative movie the social impact that I was looking at that moment as a professional and as a producer. So that was basically like the two reasons that I found in the script that make me just start working on this movie.
Wow, beautiful. We could go all night asking them questions, but unfortunately we do need to wrap up. Thank you both for joining us.
Pleasure.
Thank you all for staying to watch our discussion. And have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Garrett.